All right, so let's go ahead and get into chapter 12.3. Okay, so in chapter 12.3, we're going to talk about a bunch of construction, more constructing things. Okay, and these aren't too bad. Okay, first one is how to construct parallel lines, and there's two methods. Okay, so the whole goal here is to find a line and draw a straight line that's going to go here. That's going to be parallel to L here. Going to be parallel to this one. All right, so what I want you to do is, what you're going to do is you're going to find a point A on that line, and you're going to draw this line here to connect through this point P that you want your parallel line to go through. Okay, so you're going to draw an arc that goes through P into your line L. Okay, at that point, you're going to have 2 points. This point here at X and this point at P. Okay, it says with the same opening of the compass. Okay, and you can use this same one that you did here. You're going to draw from point P, draw this arc, and from point X, draw another arc right here. And where these two connect is where I can connect my line that's going to be parallel to line L. Okay, so now those two are parallel. All right, so that's one way. Another way is using the corresponding angle property. Okay, this is kind of the one I always like to use. I don't know why I like this one better, but it's just kind of the one I do. All right, so again, we want to make this line that goes to parallel through P. So we still make this line here. Doesn't matter where on L you make this. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to copy this angle. All right, so and you can do this. It says copy angle at point P. You can do this anywhere. Okay, you can copy it and stretch it out to where you get this angle, and then what you're going to do is you're going to get this angle. Okay, then what you're going to do is take your point, and you're going to figure out how far it is from here to here, and then you go again from this point here, and go from point to point here, and this intersection is where my new line is going to get drawn, and now I'm going to have parallel lines using basically copy and angle method. You copy the angle and then you have to draw this line. So this is the last step you're going to do is draw this line right there. Okay, so not a bad way of doing it. All right, now construction an angle bisector. This one's actually pretty easy. I like this one's a good easy one for kids to do. Okay, you're going to have an angle, and what is an angle bisector? It's going to cut it in half, so I have two equal pieces. That's our goal. Okay, so you're going to put your point on A, and you're going to make an arc, and it doesn't matter how big you make the arc, you'll make the arc here. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take these 2 points, this point and this point. You're going to stretch your compass to where it goes farther than halfway of this arc. And you're going to start at this point. You're going to make an arc from that point, and then using the same distance from this point, make another arc. Okay, and now you have these two arcs, same distances, and this intersection that we have is going to line up with the vertex, and you draw your line. This is your angle bisector because now these two angles are congruent. Simple as that. You're just trying to find that location out there. Okay. All right, constructing of perpendicular lines. Now, I kind of showed you this a little bit, but this time this is a little bit different. This is actually through a certain point. That line has to be through a certain point. This is a key. We want a perpendicular line that goes through P. That depends where it's at. Okay, so you're going to take your compass, put the point here. You're going to stretch it past the line back here so that you can make an arc that goes through. Now, doesn't matter how much, as long as you can make an arc that goes and touches your line L twice. It can be a little arc, it can be a big arc, okay? Doesn't matter, okay? But as long as we make that arc. And then this point here and this point here. You're going to stretch out your compass, maybe even use the same distance. It doesn't really matter as long as it's more than halfway across this segment. So we're going to start at this point and we're going to make an arc up here, or down here, sorry. And from this point, you're going to make another arc. And now I should be able to connect P through here, okay? So I can go P through here. And if done right, that line is going to be perpendicular. It may not be in the middle, but it's going to be perpendicular, okay? All right, this one we know, bisecting a line segment. In other words, what I'm trying to do is, wait for it, you're finding the midpoint. All right, how did we do that? We made our fish, okay? Remember, you stretched it this way, and you got your perpendicular, okay? What else do we know about this when we have this? Whoops. There we go. This is going to be perpendicular, but it's also going to be bisected. Okay, and that's how you find the same idea. So we kind of already done that one. All right, so given a triangle, construct an altitude. Now, what is an altitude? An altitude, remember, an altitude is going to go from a vertex to the other side at a right angle. It may go here. It could go here. Remember, they're all going to meet in one spot. These are altitudes. So how do I do that? Well, this is going to be a perpendicular through a point. So I could, and you're going to pretty much, if I wanted to make this altitude here, okay, what we would do is take your compass, put a point here, remember, we're going to try and do a perpendicular through this point to this line over here. So you're going to stretch out your compass to where you have this. And then you take these points here and make an arc here and make an arc here. That connection will give you an altitude right there. Okay? So that's what they did here. Stretched it here, took these 2 points and made that happen. Whoops. All right. So stretch it here, take the point here, take the point here, and make your 2 arcs here. The altitude goes from here to here. That's my altitude. Okay, right angle. All right. Construct an altitude from vertex A. Now in this case, what's different is as I stretch my compass, I'm trying to do an altitude here. There's no way for me to do it. So what's going to happen is you're going to extend this line so that when I make my arc, it's going to do this. And then I take these 2 points, make your arc here, make your arc here, and then you get this that stretches through. Okay, so show it to you. Okay, here's point A. Notice a extended line BC so you can find it. And so this is your altitude. Same idea, but you have to extend it. Now, given triangle ABC, construct an altitude in vertex A. Well, here's vertex A. It needs to go at a right angle to BC again. But notice it's already a right angle. So it already is the altitude. Okay, so a right angle is already your altitude. All right, and then the last thing, properties of an angle bisector. We already talked about an angle bisector. Okay, I already kind of talked about it, but we already know that this angle here is going to be equal to this angle. All right, Now it says any point P on the angle bisector is equidistant from the sides of the angle. Any point that is equidistant from the side makes it an angle bisector. So here's point P. Notice it's the same distance from here to here. But if I take a point here and say it's point T, a perpendicular line from here and a perpendicular line from here, any point I pick is going to have the same distance from the angles. And that's what this is saying. All right, so that is the rest of 12.3. Hope that helps.